So Carrie says, I don't understand how doing absolutely nothing after someone splits up with you helps. I feel they will just start talking to other women, then forget about you. And he's not going to forget about you, right? Like if you guys break up, the only way, Carrie, that a guy is going to forget about you when you've broken up is if you had such a bad relationship that he was just like, oh my God, I have to get away from this woman and delete her from everything and never talk to her again for the rest of my life, right? That's one way. The other way is if you guys had such a short relationship that there wasn't a lot of emotion that was built up in the relationship. Could he go out and seek another woman? Absolutely, he could, right? And that's okay, because what they found from studying this, because there's been a lot of studies that have been done on getting your ex back and what happens in ex back situations or in breakups, right? What happens generally is there's this thing called a rebound. Right. And what happens is the guy's like, oh, all these emotional needs that I had with this person are now gone. And I want to experience that stuff. Right. And so they try to jump into another relationship and they do that. And what ends up happening is they try to make everything the same that it was in the last relationship they're in. But the problem with that is that it doesn't work that way, right? Because this person is a completely new person and they have different values and they have different quirks and they have different things that they like and they hate and all kinds of different things. And so rebound relationships tend to be very, very short, right? And what ends up happening is then he comes back and he's like, man, this is hard, right? I tried to get into another relationship and it didn't work, right? I tried to get on, ask the women in our community about getting on these dating apps and online dating and how easy or hard it is, right? Even for them, it's incredibly difficult. And if it's incredibly difficult for a woman, then imagine how it is for a guy. In fact, for all the women out there, here's my suggestion. My suggestion is that you pretend to be a guy for a day on an online dating site and build a profile, have a normal looking guy on there and try to be a guy for a couple of days and try to talk to women on online dating websites, because you or on Tinder or one of the dating apps or something, you will learn a lot from doing that. You will learn how difficult it is for a guy to meet up with a woman that he finds attractive, to match and then have a conversation. It's difficult for both sides, right? For the guy, it's really difficult unless he looks like Brad Pitt, right? It's a really, really difficult thing for him to do, right? If he does look like Brad Pitt, then it's really, really easy. But if he doesn't, if he's a normal looking guy, then what ends up happening is he will message a few women and it'll be really, really difficult because none of them want to talk to him, or a lot of them don't respond back, or, they're scammers or whatever. And then what he figures out is like spending a whole bunch of time crafting an email doesn't work. And so he'll spam out like 100 different messages to different women and only like 5 of them will even respond to him. And, out of those 5, 4 of them, he didn't really even want to talk to, but he just said, screw it, because he was, sending out 100 different messages at the time. Right. And then the one woman that he talks to will end up being something that's completely not what he's looking for. And so unless this guy is like a super player that you're dating, the likelihood that he's just going to be jumping around and hooking up with lots of women now that he's free is like almost non-existent, especially in this day and age. And so it's absolutely valuable to chill out, give him some space, create some time, and let him kind of work through his emotions and start to miss you, right? That is way, way, way better than jumping on him and trying to talk to him and trying to figure things out and chasing him and trying to make things work when he's trying to run away, right? You don't want to try to make things work when he's running away. You want you both to be coming together. You want him chasing you. You want him building the relationship that you want to have together Otherwise, what's going to end up happening is if you do end up getting back into that situation, for a lot of women, what ends up happening is they end up getting into a friend with benefits type situationship because they haven't really gone through what they're supposed to do to, make sure that he's chasing and he's going after her and he's building that relationship, and they don't ask the right questions. They're just so happy that he's willing to take her back that she ends up hooking up with him. And then the next thing you know, he's like, oh, I didn't want anything serious anymore. I just wanted to hook up. Right. And then she's like devastated, and you don't want to be in that situation. Right. Instead, you want to give him some space, give him some time to let go, to start to miss you, to realize how difficult it is out there in the real world to get into a great relationship, and then go, you know what I had before was really awesome. And then you want to connect with him in the right ways so that he wants to be with you and connect with you and love you and be in a relationship with you. Okay, I hope that answered your question, Carrie.